Wow, I'm never going to get over that intro. I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Big up to all of you. Big up to each and every single one of you. Wow, look at all these comments, man. I must have been, 13 minutes late? Look, as my friend Matisse Armani would say, lateness is greatness, and I'm taking the piss. 13 minutes late. I do apologize for being late. I just had a couple of things I had to do and discuss before coming on air, and I hope you guys will find it in your hearts to forgive me. So big up to everyone. Let me just jump in straight away and address the champions that I have in the chat. Sasuke, big up to you. Welcome. Look, we're going to address all of these comments. We're going to address them. I agree, Sid. Yeah, I agree to a degree. I agree to a degree. Aman, we are here. And again, I apologize. I apologize for being late. English T2 games. Big up to you, Saudis. My favorite bid. We're gonna talk about all the bids. We're going to talk about what's going on with the bids. We're going to talk about where the Saudis are at. All right. There's a lot happening. And people are kind of getting freaked out. But I'm going to put your minds at ease. Hopefully, I will be putting your minds at ease. Verona, why are we obsessed with the Saudi guys? I don't know, Verona. Maybe they have a lot of money. And money's good, apparently. Mr. H 007, LK Keynote, Habibi, don't leave us. I will do my best. If you're referring to me, I will do my best. Who else do we have here? Chelsea, 2012. Most of the Chelsea fans want American or British. I'm already panicking. I'm going to talk about people and their choices and their selection process. I'll be talking about that in a minute as well. So sit tight, Chelsea, 2012. DJ Sav, big up to you, my brother. I hope you are good. I am late, and again, I apologize. If you want to jump on, you know where the link is. Click on that, and would love to have you on and get your insight. Bobby Smoky Signals has just jumped on. Fantastic. Who else is in the chat? The Joker 26. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. Abdul B, Chelsea Fanatic, Wally, MCIG, Bobby Fairview, George Perkins, everyone. Again, if I've missed anyone, there's a lot of you in the chat, and if I can ask each and every one of you who I have just mentioned to go ahead and hit that like button and get the stream off to a good start. We're already on 26 likes, so let's try to get to 50 as soon as possible, and then to 100 and advancing further and further along the way. I have with me today, and I know you guys want me to get into the news, but I want to leave it a little bit late because I want to get people a chance to jump in. We're 5 minutes into the stream. I want to give more people a chance to jump in before I dive in. So let me say hello to my panelists. I have with me Chris. How are you? How you doing, Chris?
Big up, everybody. Big up. Better late than never, but we're here to talk about the mighty Chelsea, so I can't wait. Let's go.
The Mighty Blues. Faldiaso, Boogeyman, what's he saying? I don't care who gets the club. We need to add in the contract that the new buyers invest at least 1 billion in the club in the next year or so, or contract is void.
It's fair to say Boogie's not a businessman. You know,
yeah, I mean, if he owns the club, then who's voiding the contract? Because he's literally bought the club. Woman Abramovich has nothing to do with it anymore. The UK government doesn't really get involved in that because now he is an owner. So there is no contract there, Boogie. It's just a transaction. He pays the money, he gets the receipt, and that's it. Job done. When you buy your sandwich, if you don't eat it correctly, no one's going to take it away from you. So anyway, that's just an example. Nick Blue, how are you?
Yeah, big up, chaps. Yeah, nice to be back here. Yeah, there's a lot of news to this. A lot of news, but a lot of negative news from Sky Sports, etc., etc. We hear so many, all day, all different things. We can't, it's hard to believe anything.
Yeah, Nick,
That's what
we used to Sky Sports giving us negative news.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, when has Sky
not
Sports
just
ever?
Sky Sports. We have so many different sources, like a lot of journalists. You want saying this, other that. It's going up and down like a yo-yo at the moment.
Hopefully tonight, whoever's watching the stream, all 1,000, 2,000, whatever number of people are going to watch the stream, hopefully we can put their minds at ease. Hopefully. I will try my best to give them a positive spin or a positive perspective to what's going on. Hopefully. And I'm talking about the Chelsea fans here. I'm talking about, my brothers and sisters who are watching the stream. I am going to try to put your minds at ease to a certain degree. I have with us all the way from the other side of the planet, where it's actually morning where he's at, Declared from down under. How are you?
Good morning. I'm alright.
Good morning.
It's been a while.
It has been.
Yeah, I missed the show, but I do tune in. I mean, when I do get up, it was that pocket of time where I'm either just fallen asleep or haven't got up yet. So that's where we're at now. Now I'm up, and we're in dire times now. News every day, new buyer every day. It's daunting.
Even though the bidding process has concluded as of Friday, and every day, especially today, we're finding out there's new bids. So it's a bit of a strange position to be in. Declared, I hope you're good, and I'm happy to have you on the panel today to discuss all the happenings and the latest developments regarding Chelsea Football Club. I will move on to one of the more senior members of the panel, and I say senior not as in age, but as in their history with the channel, and that would be Bobby. Bobby, Smoky Signals, welcome. How are you?
Hi guys, I'll probably even put age to that as well, Mo.
Well, I think so. No. I mean, I think Nick might kind of overtake you a little bit. Nick, yeah, I think
respect to Nick.
Big up, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not really expecting to hear anything of significance till about anything from midnight because of the American timeline.
4 hours. Morning. Yeah, it's like they're 4 hours ahead of us in New York. Yeah.
Behind us. Is it ahead? Yeah,
behind. Apologies. Yeah. Behind. Yes, behind us.
So 5 hours, I'd even say. And the only thing that's happening with these bids is they're just we're getting revelations of the bids that were put in on Friday. Like the 3.9 billion by Centric was done on Friday. It's just that the figures were revealed, just today.
Correct. I'm glad you mentioned Centric because I'm going to talk about that. A lot of people don't seem to understand how this company and how powerful this company is, and a lot of people are like looking at it like, who are these guys? What are these guys? We haven't heard nothing about these guys. Are they good? Are they bad? These guys are wealthy. And the owner of this British group is a Saudi. No, he's not. He's British. He's English. He was born in this country, but he comes from Saudi Arabia. His heritage is Saudi Arabian. Okay, which gives us an avenue to invest or to explore that maybe a different British entrepreneur like Nick Candy can't, purely because of the background that he comes from. And I will address that in a minute. Bobby, thank you very much. I will come back to you, and I will come back to each and every one of you and discuss this further after I say hello to DJ Sav, and I'll give you my opening statement. DJ Sav,
big up.
Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, all good, bro. How are you? How's everyone? You all good?
Yeah, good.
Good. Fantastic. Welcome. Cheers, DJ Sav, we have a long night ahead of us. I'm going to give everyone my opening statement, and then we will discuss the news, and I know you've been following it in great detail. You've been, looking at it with a fine, what's the phrase? Fine tooth. I can't remember the phrase. Anyway, you'll be looking at it in a lot of detail.
Fine tooth comb.
Tooth comb. There you go. With a fine tooth comb. Okay, so where are we right now? As you've all seen from my thumbnail that I've artistically created just for this video, and I hope you guys like it, with the Chelsea logo coming down behind the sand as the sun sets, etc. No? Did you get that? All right. The Saudi media group, lads, is currently one of the bidders. The other consortiums that are in this race for the acquisition of Chelsea Football Club are all still in the game. No one has been chosen officially. No one has been pushed out officially as we are speaking right now. Could this happen by the end of the working day in New York City, in Wall Street? Yes. It may not happen today. It may happen tomorrow because there is a 48-hour time frame that has been suggested by many, but it hasn't been finalized as of yet. When it does get finalized, it will not be one entity that is selected. As per reporting by Matt Law, 2 or 3 entities, consortiums, will be going to the next phase. 2 or 3 entities will be going to the next phase. The next phase. Why is there a next phase? Who is in that next phase? We all knew that the bids would come in, and a selected committee from the Rain Group would look at them, compare them, examine them to the conditions that have been set out by the government, by Roman Abramovich, and then they would select the best bid. Why are they selecting 2 or 3? Well, they are selecting 2 or 3 for the following reasons. The bids that get selected have to go through a check, a more in-depth scrutiny in respect to whether or not these bidders pass the criteria that is set out for them to be able to own a club in the UK. Now, this involves certain departments within the government. And this is why there are many media sources reporting that the government are the ones who decide who buys the club. It's true. The government has input into who is eligible to buy the club. But they don't pick the final bidder, the final buyer. That will then be chosen by Roman Abramovich based on the criteria that has been met, financial criteria that has been met by the Rain Group, the scrutiny that has gone through by the British government, and then Roman Abramovich will be presented with his final options. Now, as we all are aware, and as we all know, no business transaction of this magnitude will be done for free. There are commissions. There are fees. These commissions and these fees are worked out on a percentage. Therefore, it makes sense that the highest bid will be the one selected, as it will yield a larger commission to the parties involved. I know what you're thinking, Roman Abramovich, he ain't getting a penny. Yes, but the people involved in this process are all going to get paid. And the higher the bid, the higher the commission for the people involved. Now, this I want you to keep in mind. At this point in time, we have 3 clear bids that are over or of just on the 2.5 billion pound price range, and that is the Todd Bowley consortium, the Saudi Media Group, and also I can't pronounce these guys' name. The Centric Group, who is owned by Nizar al-Bassam. Nizar al-Bassam.
You can even add the Ricketts to that, to be honest.
Yes. I think the Ricketts are also
2.7.
2.7, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so these are the ones that we know about. Now, Nick Candy, he has a South Korean investor who has also today stated that they are prepared to invest more to raise their bid, because I think Nick Candy's bid was 2.2 or 2.3, something along those lines. For him to be in the same bracket as the rest, he needs to increase it by about 0.4 billion pounds, and I think the South Koreans have said they will be prepared to add to that. Now, I think when we had the deadline on Friday for the bids to be submitted, I think, and I said this on Friday, I think it's a soft deadline rather than a hard deadline, meaning that you have to submit your bid by Friday end of business. However, if that bid was submitted and there was additions that needed to be added to that, you could do it at later, at a later date. And I think this is what's happening right now. I think the main bidders are being told, look, we like your portfolio, we like what you have to offer, but there's better financial incentive to go elsewhere. Are you prepared to match that figure? And if they are prepared to match that figure, then they're doing that. Now, does that mean any of these deals are dead in the water? The deals that we have been talking about, that we have been listening in respect to over the past week or so? Possibly, but nobody is aware of who is being eliminated at this point. I will guarantee you that out of the potentially 30 bids that have been submitted, at least half of those have been pushed aside by now. Who are the ones that have been pushed aside? We don't know. Now, I did contact someone who knows, or who works with someone in Wall Street. And earlier today, I tried to get some information through them, and I couldn't. Even though the person who I was in contact with is in the know with respect to what is going on, but the agreements that have been put in place, the non-disclosure agreements, the privacy laws, the security protocols regarding this deal are really stringent. Very few people have access. There is information being leaked, but none of that information that you have heard or that you have seen is information that can be classified as make or break for any of these deals. We've heard about bids being increased. Now, the bid that has been increased or bids being increased, that information isn't coming out from the Rain Group. It's coming out from the bidders themselves. There's a lot of information coming out, but most of it is coming out from the bidders themselves rather than the Rain Group. And it's very hard to know what the Rain Group is actually doing until they announce it. So anything that you've heard spoken by any individual, any reporter, in respect to the decision or the talks, the negotiations, the process that is going on right now inside the Rain Group is all speculation. Every bit of that information is all speculation. Until they make an announcement, they will not leak any information, because the entities who they are dealing with are worth billions. The investment that you are looking at, that you're talking about, is worth billions. No one individual is going to be able to jeopardize their career, their financial well-being by leaking some information for whatever sum of money. Because if you jeopardize this deal for any of these billionaires, they're gonna sue you. Even when you die and you go to wherever you go to, they will still be following you and taking you to court in them places there. Because listen, they're not messing around here. So no one is gonna do nothing like that. No one is gonna leak information from the Rain Group. So that's where we are. That's what I wanted to give you guys in respect to the insight and the position we're in. Now, before I open the discussion to my panelists and get their insight, I also want to just say one thing about us Chelsea fans and the fan base. We are talking about the acquisition of Chelsea Football Club, the sale of Chelsea Football Club, like we are ordering our dinner or our lunch. Seriously, lads, you guys need to understand, this is not something that simple. I've seen people sitting on on channels on social media. Look, I don't want the Americans. I'm not having that. Give me a bit of Saudi with a bit of I don't know, maybe a sprinkle of a British investor on the side. You know what? I want a Chelsea fan who has money. You know what? I don't mind an American investor as long as he has a sporting mindset. We don't get to choose, lads. We don't get to choose. Money gets to choose. All we can do is we can hope that whoever does come through that door and does become our owner is going to do it with us at least in the back of his head, back of his mind. Because everyone who's spending £3 billion is not doing it for the love of Chelsea Football Club. They're doing it because it's a financial investment. They are going to try to make money from Chelsea Football Club. The romanticism that we had, that we enjoyed for 20 years with Roman Abramovich, lads, that's gone. Whoever's walking through that door is coming for a business investment. Now, me saying that doesn't make it bad. The fact that a businessman is buying Chelsea Football Club and he wants to make money at Chelsea Football Club, not necessarily bad news, lads. Because for him to make money, he's got to build a stadium. Not bad news. For him to make money, he's got to make us a market brand, a global brand. Not bad news. And as a businessman, he knows to make money, he's got to invest money. And investing money isn't just buying the club. He's got to put money in the club. Because the club has an infrastructure that is a moneymaker. The academy. He needs to keep that academy generating and creating and building that youth system, that, spine of Chelsea Football Club today. The likes of Reece James and Mason Mount and Christensen, who's about to go to Barcelona. But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. So the fact that this is happening, don't let it upset you. Don't let it, knock you down and think of it as a negativity. No, it's a money world. It's a money business. It's an investment. And you know what? if we're not happy with whoever does come through that door, we do have a voice and we can take a stance. Regardless if they're Saudi, if they're American, if they're English, if they're whoever they are. When they come through that door, they have a job to do. And we as fans, we are parts of the club. Don't think, the club is one entity and we are outside looking in. No, we are the heart and soul of that club. So we have a voice. We may not have a lot to say, or we may not be as involved in regards to who gets to buy it, because we don't really own a big chunk of it right now. But maybe that's something we can work on for the future. Do you see what I mean, lads? Let's just be a little bit more proactive and a little bit more positive and look at this with a little bit more of a sensible outlook. I don't want an American. I want a Saudi. We've all done it. I've done it. We've all said it. I'm not saying that. This is something that is degrading. No, we've all done it. We all have dreams and expectations and hopes and whatnot, and we all have our own perception of things, which is fine. Just I want you guys to kind of understand that this whole thing is not so simple. There's a lot that goes behind it. There's a lot that is involved in this. I've been speaking for half an hour. Bloody hell. I can I can talk a lot. Anyway, that's why I'm let me get into this discussion with my panelists. Guys, I want you to give me your take on this. You've all seen the tweets, you've all read the news articles, you've all heard about what's going on. I want to get your perception of how this is going and where we're going to end up, based on what you've read and what you've seen. And I know all of you have done your research for today. So let me start with who shall I start? I'm going to start with Declared, because he's not been here for a while. So I'm going to start with Declared, get him to give me his take, and we'll kick it off. And don't have to wait for me to ask you to jump in. Once Declared stops talking, whoever wants to respond to him, go straight ahead. Take it away, Declared.
So I'm going to have to try not to stop talking so someone can't jump in. Well, I don't know where to start. There's just so many owners. I think my biggest worry is that people are starting to warm up to some of these owners that I don't actually like. Like I'm going to start with even Todd Bowley, which is probably one of the favorites by some of the fans. Not favorites, but people are warming up to him. But what annoyed me, what he said was, I'm trying to remember the exact points. It was sensible spending. Something else, something about stadium, and data. He wanted to bring data to Chelsea, which he was referring to the Liverpool model. Todd Bowley doesn't know anything about football. Nothing. He already talked about sensible spending, saying that we're going to take it easy, and the data, the Liverpool model. Well, what people don't know, it's not a great model. I mean, the Fenway Group has been there for 11 years, right? You know how many mistakes they've made? The data model? I think they forgot about Charlie Adams, Downing, Balotelli, Andy Carroll. Even with the most recent one, they were in for Werner. Werner had a choice of Liverpool and Chelsea, and Werner could have been their problem. Liverpool has lucked out, right, with raiding teams like Southampton, Watford, right? They don't have many academies in the first team, right? They bring someone new now and then, and Salah was way better than they thought. Klopp came in, Klopp is their data. He wanted certain players with certain characteristics, and they went and got them. So this goes to show that Todd Bowley doesn't know anything about football, and what worries me that he thinks he knows something, and he wants to change the Chelsea model, and the Chelsea model is what won 21 trophies in 19 years, and Chelsea model is a better model than what Todd Bowley thinks as well, better than Liverpool model. So that's why I'm one of the same people that want the Saudi group, right? Because our model has thrown money at problems, and And unfortunately, it does sound like money-wise, probably the most expensive one, but it's the best model. And they've also said they want to just invest in the same things that Roman invested in, and it's almost business as usual if they come in. Now, the biggest influence.
Declared, I just want to interrupt you for one second, because I just received a tweet I received a DM from DJ Sav, and it's a key point that I wanted to mention, but I forgot to say it. And now that you're speaking about the Saudi situation, I think it's relevant for me to mention it now, because in respect to the information that we do have at hand, can indicate certain things. The information that we have can indicate certain things. One of the pieces of information that we found out literally just before we went live, I think it was half an hour before we went live, was that the Rain Group believes the transaction could be completed by the end of next month. The transaction can be completed by the end of next month. Not in 10 days, not by the I think it's Brentford were playing, not by the Brentford game on the 2nd of next month, but by the end of next month. That indicates something. What does that indicate? It indicates this whole situation is going to be examined further. There is more examination that's going to be taking place. Where is the examination going to be entailed? The examination is in the buyer, not in the club, because the club, we all know who the club is. But the buyer needs to be examined. Therefore, there are hurdles and there are hoops that the buyer is going to have to jump through. Therefore, the restrictions and the scrutiny that we all are assuming will be put on the Saudi media group will potentially take a month to clarify. And therefore, this whole thing that is being put in front of us, that it could take up to a month, for me, is a clear indicator that the Saudi media group are still in the race. Because if you look at what I just said a few minutes ago in respect to the value of the bid, the value that they have put across is up there with the best of them. And I'm sure if they turn around and say, well, look, you gave us 2.7, but we've had a £3 billion bid put in, can you match that? Do you think they're going to say, nah, I don't have enough money? They'll be like, you know what, I'll go even higher. So the Saudi media group isn't restricted financially, like you just said, Declared. Therefore, the scrutiny aspect, which has been confirmed by the Rain Group as per reporting, could take up to a month. Therefore, this whole thing is still happening. So for those of you like Declared, like myself, like others in the chat, who prefer to see the Saudi media group come in, don't be disheartened by the lack of information. Because in this kind of environment, the lack of information, the lack of noise is a positive. It's not necessarily negative. It isn't who shouts the loudest that is making the biggest impact. Just keep that in mind. Declared, I apologize for interrupting you, my man.
It's okay. I always believed that whoever it was going to be a month process. I mean, some people are saying this, it can happen tomorrow, next week. It was always going to take a little bit of a process with the Rain Group and the carefulness of the money, where it's going to go. And so I felt that we were going to see out the season with this hanging over our heads. But I wanted to get back to, well, you mentioned the Saudis too, and I also believe that the Saudis one of the countries that haven't sanctioned Roman. So if there's any under the table deals, right, Roman can actually get money out of this from the Saudis, unlike some other, like from the Americans or anyone from Europe or the UK. So I believe that could happen as well. Money could be put like that too. If I want to move on, I think I wanted to make another point about the some of the other owners. Some people have opened up a little bit with the Ricketts, and they're trying to say, well, it's not his father. His father said that, and it wasn't him. We should give him a chance. But unfortunately for me, um, he owns the club, the Cubs, and he owns it through a family trust. The head of that family trust is the father. If he comes and buys Chelsea, it will be the same way, and that same racist father will be head of the trust. So his money will still be involved, even though we're trying to make it his son. And so
Cled,
that one's sort of.
I want to ask you a question, Cled, and again, I apologize for interrupting you, but these points that you're bringing up, they're very, very valid, and we've seen them discussed on the timeline. We had a discussion about this in our group, and and I've seen it on other other places. And the question is this: we as Chelsea fans, we have tools at our disposal. This channel is being one of them. Twitter, Instagram, the written press. Some of us are journalists. Some of us have our own websites. Some of us, however, have our own companies. And we can make a stance in respect to, we don't want to see this individual anywhere near Chelsea Football Club because he is a racist, or he comes from a racist background, his father, his money isn't clean, whatever stance we would like to make in respect to the Ricketts. If for some miracle, and I think it will take a miracle for them to end up winning this bid, based on everything that we've done so far. But let's say they do win the bid, and they do become the new owners of Chelsea Football Club. You, as a Chelsea fan, what would your position be in respect to your beloved Chelsea Football Club?
In terms of
this club that you love, that you support, that you're a fan of, that you you invested in so much, emotionally, is now being run by a racist, by a person who values you based on the color of your skin, or the or who you pray to.
Can I come in?
I'll let you come in, but I want to hear from Declared, and then I'll let you come in. How would you feel about Chelsea Football Club, the fact that it's owned by such an individual?
I'm worried for the people under it, because Chelsea has such a family kind of culture. Everyone in it that goes and anything. I mean, even they're still kneeling. There's still sponsor campaigns. That it will have such a chain effect if someone like that came in, to the people at the club, to the players, to the groups they set up, to the anti-racism campaigns. For one person that said that statement, and it can undo almost everything else, right? And they're still trying to say, they're trying to separate it. I get that too, but it doesn't. You would always think that still, if they feel like that could change the culture at the club. I mean, like I used to say the same thing. What was it? Oh my god, the name now. What's that Liverpool legend that came in as a coach?
Gerrard.
No.
Who?
How do I forget his name?
What year we're talking about? What year?
On.
What club? What club?
Dalglish.
For Liverpool.
Yeah. The same era, the same time he bought Henderson. Yeah. So even with a player like that comes in, and he was very, he just wanted British players. Down in Charlie Adams, and then so even that, and I'm not going to accuse him of being racist, but even a subconscious, when you view race like he did, right? And some other managers might do that. Some other high ups, if they start to look, if you have a subconscious bias like that, then you might want to see your team only Christians, for example. or you might want to see more white, or you know when you have that mentality of race and religion and stuff like that, you actually want to embed that in your club. And if you have a racist owner, then that can affect, I mean, to the staff, to everything. So you don't want to say you don't want to say it because someone has control and has a subconscious view on how he wants to see anything, and it could influence choices in that, and they're big choices. So that's how I view it. That's why I would hate to have someone like that.
All right, let me get a different perspective. Let me bring in Nick. Nick, give me your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Declare, you said a lot of good points there. Yeah, if the worst, I don't think Ricketts will be our owner. Like Mo said, it'd be a miracle if it does. But if that miracle happens, then it's up to us Chelsea fans, real Chelsea fans, to be at the bridge, be there, making our word heard, and making sure he, does the things properly. We're a non-racist club, and we have to stand on that. But if he does try to do anything bad, then that's when we come in. We will, make our voice heard with our mouths and banners and protests. Like that's the only choice we're going to have. But even if he comes in, we're still Chelsea fans. So I don't get the idea of some of these Chelsea fans saying, if he comes along with, I'm not a Chelsea fan. That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Yeah, and I've been hoping for the Saudis all along because I like what they said, what they're going to do. That's what the main reason is. And plus, he's a Chelsea fan. I can't say his name, Mikhaliri or whatever. I like
El-Khawaji.
Yeah, I'll get him soon. Yeah, he's been at the bridge plenty of times. His family supports Chelsea. So I love them to take it. And like Mo said, it's the quiet ones who do the talking, not the noisy ones. That's what he's coming to. And, and the other thing is, I don't get, Roman Abramovich, he said, it's true what he said. He said, you ain't going to give the club to anyone who sanctioned Russia. But that's what,
Nick,
they speak around.
Nick, that is debatable that he actually made that statement. I think that statement
we didn't see
was
for life.
Yeah, it was an assumption. Yeah. It was an assumption that was made,
it's an assumption.
And it kind of picked up weight, and people were have started to contribute it to him. Now, it makes sense. I mean, if I was in his position and I'm being targeted by a specific country, organization, and they are literally ripping away something that I've cared so heavily about and I've loved so much, and I've spent the last 20 years of my life building. They're taking that away from me for nothing that I've done now, but for allegations of something that I did 20 years ago, which I'm no longer involved in, as per Roman Abramovich's position. Then it would make sense that I would be less likely to sell to someone with. I wouldn't say British or American. I would say British or American who has government ties. Okay, so for example, Nick Candy, hearing that he was at a Tory party dinner discussing this particular situation. Even though Nick Candy does have a rapport with Marina Gavaskaya, with Petr Cech, he's a season ticket holder, he's a VIP member, even though that exists, but on the flip side of that, if I hear that he has done that just before this, would I be happy to sell to him? I'd be reluctant. I mean, unless I didn't have any other choice, I'd be reluctant. But Roman Abramovich has a ton of choices. Look, 200 bidders were interested, 30 bids submitted. Roman Abramovich, his ideal figure was 3 billion. and all the bids are in and around that figure. And it's interesting what you said, Nick, in respect to the Saudi group talked about the academy, the women's team, the
Everything.
men's
They
team,
talked
the
about
stadium.
everything. Yeah.
They talked about all of that first. I didn't hear anyone mention any of those things until after the Saudis started talking about it. Then you start seeing Nick Candy, I want to have a fan on the board, and then this, I want to build a stadium, I want to do this, and I want to do that. Everyone started to start talking about that. The Saudis, from the first minute, they put their proposal forward because a Chelsea fan is behind it. And it's not only a Chelsea fan, it's a football person. Hamad Al Khawaji is a football person, So for him, yeah. And I'll be honest with you guys. For me, that is the reason why I'm behind this bid, because a football person, football mind, a media empire behind him that can market the hell out of this club. Sponsorship deals left, right, and center. He has ambition to build the club. Why not? Why am I going with a racist? Why am I going with a puppet of Boris Johnson? Why am I? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
Go on, Nick. Sorry, mate.
The only thing is with the Saudis, they're gonna be, like you said, that's why it's gonna take a month, end of April, because they're gonna investigate every little thing and see, if they find anything. Like what they did with Newcastle, but Newcastle, it took them a year to get it done. That's the only stumbling block for.
I'm actually happy it took them a year to get it done, because that legwork that was done by Newcastle and by the Saudi owners of Newcastle, it's probably going to make it less harder for us to get a Saudi buyer. Look, I want to bring in the rest of the panel. Let me hear from Bobby. Bobby, who did we lose? We lost somebody. We lost Chris. Connection issue maybe. Bobby, let me get your thoughts on this whole situation.
I think, like most people, my priority is that whoever is shortlisted to be the preferred bidder is somebody with not only the abundance financially to be able to further invest into the club, but somebody who comes with a blueprint for improvement, which is, as you've mentioned, the Saudi group mentioned the continuous investment into all the arms of the club, the women's team, the academy, as well as, of course, the men's team, and of course the main thing being the stadium. Now, as for who this bidder is and how suitable they are, I'm very careful with certain things, knowing how the world is today. And I'm very careful of hypocrisies. We have this way nowadays of getting frenzied about things. Everybody is very good at, if you're the person that they pointed the finger at, everyone wants to come and join the bandwagon and stick the boot in. It's, for many people, it becomes a virtue signaling opportunity, and it just becomes a lynch fest. It's very common now. Oh, this person's bad. Let's all lynch him. Now, I'm saying this in relation to the Ricketts. And I'm trying to be very balanced here, because I've only recently come to see what they are meant to have said, which is abhorrent. It's unacceptable. And it's not the framework of mentality that we want the world to use going forward. However, isn't it strange that during a period of time where we had some sort of radical terror type situations going on, a lot of these same people probably said worse things in ignorance, and also in this same lynch mob mentality of, oh, a few radical fanatic people are going around, exploding bombs or, attacking people. And now it's everybody to do with that religion that is bad. And they all jumped on that bandwagon. I just think we need to be a bit careful here. My focus is, first of all, what is the plan for the improvement of the club? And as far as I know, this Ricketts group, along with several very other strong contenders, have a very strong, robust plan. Now, as far as what they have done or what they have said or what their father has said, it's not going to be easy for them to live down anyway. And to be brutally honest, I can't see them progressing as bidders. But should there be, by any unlikely chance, that they get through and they are, shall I say, the preferred bidder, I think we all have to draw breath and listen to what they have to say. Because I listened with keen interest what a person said about them on Sky Sports this afternoon. Somebody who knows them well, knows their track record in terms of sports investment. He didn't actually, when I was listening, mention anything about this particular sort of Islamophobic issue, but he mentioned a lot of their sort of repentance to what they have been associated with in the past and focused on their good works. Now, do I have an opinion about that? Not really. I don't think I know enough about it to harbor any severe judgment on them. I know what has been said. I know what I feel about what has been said. And I know that they're not alone. We live in a world where so many people, you look at them yesterday and you look at all the things they've said and done. And then suddenly today, when there's somebody they can all jump on the back of, they're trying to pretend they're removed from that sort of accusation. That's just my point, anyway. That's just my point. But coming to the main issue of the bidders, right now, I think I wouldn't be surprised, as the Rain Group said, that the bids may not really be finalized until the end of next month. I just hope that once a selected bidder has been selected, the government have the good sense to start to relax some of their sanctions on the club itself, because the direction to take the club out of Mr. Abramovich's hands would be set in place. And it is now up to them to make sure that no funding from the sale goes to him. So why keep punishing the club? That's number one. Number two, there's some really concrete bids. Centric cannot be ignored. If it's true that somebody has dropped 3.9 million on the table and has told you that they're going to rebuild the stadium and they're going to, invest in all the right ways that we want them to invest. I know, talk is cheap, but at least they're talking the talk. You can't ignore it. We all know about the Saudi media group. And to be fair to him, Todd Bowley and his group cannot be ignored. As with the Ricketts, they can't be ignored, although they really won't be up there amongst the favorites. And then there are others that we don't even know about. So what am I saying here? Ultimately, let's wait and see.
Spot on, Bobby. Spot on. And I want to add to that. The number will be clarified very shortly. The people or the bids that will be accepted will be clarified very shortly. We may even get it by tonight. We may even have that list available to us tonight by close of business. Doubtful, but we might have it. and the list will be 2 or maybe 3, maybe even, it could be half a dozen bids that will go to the next phase. Okay, because they do meet the criteria that has been set out. So I know all of us are a little bit anxious, and when we're hearing that the transaction, the purchase could take up to a month, it does. When I first heard it, it kind of worried me. But then when I assessed it and I read a little bit further into it, it's not as bad as I initially hoped. But we will know who's buying Chelsea Football Club, or at least the shortlist, within the next 24, 48 hours. That's number one. Number two, if the transaction takes a month to happen, the government will be relaxing a lot of the restrictions that are put in place. We already have tickets being sold for the next round of the FA Cup. Okay, so Wembley Stadium will have Chelsea fans there, as well as Crystal Palace fans. Okay, we are going to have our fans able to attend that fixture. And that was something that was out of the question a couple of days ago. But the UK government put these sanctions in place for a reason. And that was to force Roman Abramovich's hand in selling the club. And now, that things are going in that direction. There's no need to keep punishing the fans, the staff, and the people who are linked to the club. Who wants to jump in? I think we've got DJ and Chris.
Yeah, I'll go on. I'll jump on, right? So,
go ahead, Chris.
In terms of, right, who do I want? Now, everyone knows, since I've been on the Blue Lounge, the group chat on Twitter, I keep saying Saudis. I want the Saudis. That's who I want. However, Todd Bowley, as each day goes on, I don't know what it is. I seem to think, could he be a good owner? And I think he could be, and I'll tell you why, right? Because there was a space last night on Twitter, and Americans were talking about the NFL. Now, as you know, I don't have a clue about the NFL, but the title of the space was Jets. Now, who owns the Jets? Woody Johnson, who was also linked with Chelsea. But the guy that was hosting it, in his bio, he said he was a Dodgers fan. Dodgers, who's got a 20% stake in the Dodgers? Todd Bowley. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to go in and see what. So I just introduced myself. I just said, look, I'm a Chelsea supporter. I know nothing about American sports, but can you tell me about Todd Bowley? See the things they were saying, mate. Positive things, but that's on that sports. So they were saying he's passionate, he's ambitious, he wants to win and win. Now, this is what I'm saying. So see when people are speaking down on Todd Bowley, as much as I don't want an American owner, he is good at what he does. He seems like he's a passionate and ambitious owner. So if we don't get the Saudi bid and we get Todd Bowley, it's not the ideal solution for me and quite a lot of the majority of the Chelsea supporters. But mate, he seems like he's a good option to have. He's not a bad option. He's a good option to have. So it's between those two for me. But as everyone knows, there's people behind the scenes that we've not heard of and this and that. But I just want to talk about what they're promising, okay? Now, they're promising to do, have a fan on the board. They're promising to extend the stadium. They're promising to invest and win. Let me tell you something, right? They're talking the talk now, but in a year or two's time, if they're not doing that, trust us, trust me, we will be on their back. So they can talk the talk. If they're not promising, but what they're promising, we'll be on their back. So, and also, I just want to talk about the Ricketts family. I don't want the Ricketts family at all. But some supporters saying...
Chris, I want to stop you for a second and ask you this question, and then let me hear your thoughts. The Ricketts, many individuals in that family have shown a racist approach. I have a video that I can play, but I'd rather not play it because it's 2 years old, and I'll have to go through the whole context of it. But there are many members of that family who are racist, who have shown that they are racist, and it isn't just racist. It's not just it's Islamophobic. It's black. It's Asian. It's different racist mentality. The thing is this: racism is a massive problem in football, in English football. The Premier League has a campaign against racism. Our players have been taking a knee before every single fixture in the Premier League, in the FA Cup. It's become part of our footballing culture. Okay, now we're doing this because we are trying to eradicate the racist mentality that is, unfortunately, still has its hooks in our beloved sports.
100%.
So we have that goal. We have that goal as a society. Forget Chelsea Football Club. As a society, we have that goal. And the Premier League, in my opinion, are not doing enough. They're doing bits, but they're not doing enough.
Yeah, they're not acting.
Now, for them, I mean, they're doing symbolic gestures, but there's a lot of things that they can do. They can fine clubs, they can, stop certain situations, which will make it very hard for clubs to allow racism within their fan base, within their footballing culture. And we know that some clubs have a harder time of doing that than others. However, the Premier League isn't doing enough. But for the Premier League, because the Premier League, do you know that bit that we said, the next phase, the scrutiny phase? The Premier League has a say in this. They have a vote in this. And if they allow a family with at least the perception, I mean, the individual, the perception that this buyer will bring, this family that is known for racism, coming to the Premier League allowing them to come in, the perception, the ripple effect of this action needs to be weighed. Now, I know, as fans, and I totally agree with what Declared said, and I totally agree with what Bobby said. We need to have an open mind. We need to approach this from a particular perspective. I agree with all of that. No arguments either way. Okay, you don't have to be on one side or the other. You can see multiple different situations in front of you. But the biggest issue I have is not for us having a racist owner at Chelsea Football Club. The biggest issue I have is for the Premier League to allow this to happen. The message is going to send out to everyone else. If you have done work that has been valued to be anti-racism, the license or the agreement to allow this man to come in and buy Chelsea Football Club, you'll be undoing a hell of a lot of work. And that, for me, is the problem. Chris, take it away.
Before you... No, can I just finish my point, Bob? I'll just be like 2 minutes, mate. I'll just be 2 minutes. So, as for the Ricketts family, right? Look, I don't want the Ricketts family. I don't want them, right? Because of what they've said. And look, there's probably stuff they've said that we don't know about, right? Behind closed doors. That's that, right? I don't want them, okay? But this is my message to the supporters that is letting an owner like that control their emotions towards the club that they claim to love. Now, for me, look, I love Chelsea. We all love Chelsea. We're all passionate about Chelsea. We're all ambitious to see Chelsea keep winning and winning and winning. But my thing, I think it's just embarrassing that some people that say they support the club is willing to run away because of a family or an individual or whatever because of what they've said. Of course, look, I understand people have principles, but they don't let this... They're not going to get owners. I don't think they will. But if they do, by some small chance they do, mate, why would you let them affect your love and your love for the club? And you're going to run away from all the memories under Abramovich, all the memories from Lampard, Terry, Drogba, Ashley Cole, and you're going to let that be ruined because of what someone has said. Come on. Don't let those owners affect your mood for the club. We all have a voice, and if they're not performing as owners, as I said, we will let them know that, and they'll soon wish they never took over Chelsea. So yeah, I'm not going to let the Ricketts family affect my love for the club. Like some people are getting affected by it. But I think it's quite embarrassing that people are going to run away from Chelsea because of the Ricketts family. That's my opinion.
Go ahead, Bobby.
I was just going to add to that and to what you said, Mo. You know, I tried to raise a measure of thinking behind this. I don't think they will get the club, and I want it to be unconditionally mentioned that look, I don't have any time or any tolerance for anything to do with racism. It doesn't belong in this century. It is a learned behavior. I've been watching Chelsea since 1970. So trust me, I've seen it on the terraces. It is ugly. It is vile. It doesn't belong to humanity. And indeed, if we are getting people involved with the club that are indeed in any way, shape, or form associated with that sort of attitude, then we shouldn't have them anywhere near us. The point I was making is just in a way like Chris, that my love for the club is far greater than any comments that anybody who's interested in the club could possibly make. And more importantly, I'm very careful of overt accusations. But if you, as Mo has said, that he has even more evidence of this, then it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, literally, there is a ton of evidence, and like I said, I am an individual, so organizations that are tasked with checking people's backgrounds and companies' backgrounds and whatnot, they have access to better sources than me, and they'll find whatever it is that's out there. This is a comment from Dexter. Dexter, thank you for your super chat. Much appreciated. He says, facts aren't hard to find. Literally what I just said. Ricketts have a long history of racist and Islamophobic and disgusting comments. Again, not hard to find at all. Google is your friend, guys. UK fans must write to MPs before sale. Yep, I mentioned that earlier as well. We have our own platforms. We have our own ways of getting the message across. And the least you can do if you don't have a different platform is to speak to your MP, to write to your MP, and let them know about your feelings. This isn't welcomed in British society. I agree. Fact. Let alone in Chelsea Football Club. Dexter, thank you for your comment. Much appreciate your sentiment. Fantastic words. I saw another super chat. I think it said something like, here we go. Saudis or administration? Nah. Listen. It's not like that, Sasuke. It's not like that, mate. There is potential in a lot of these bids. The Centric's bid. I like the Centric's group. I'll be honest with you. I like the Centric's group. Let me tell you guys about the Centric's group. I know I haven't given DJ Sav a chance to jump in, but I'll do that after I tell you about the Centric's group. Look, people, there is an organization, a British company that has made a $3.9 billion bid. A $3.9 billion bid, which comes to roughly £3 billion sterling. This is a British company that is owned and run by a British man by the name of, let me remember his name, Nazar al-Bassam. Nazar al-Bassam is a British born individual of Saudi Arabian heritage. He is British born. He owns a fantastically big company that is able to spend or to bid for Chelsea Football Club a sum of that magnitude. This individual, you will not find a lot about him online, and I have looked. Everything you find about him is relating to his business activities. There's nothing about his social background, his interests, his hobbies, his social media tweets. I couldn't find much about him, and I looked. That kind of individual tells me this man is professional. This man is all about getting things done. The fact that he has an Arabic Saudi background will mean that he is able to tap into that part of the world in regards to sponsors, investments, in a whole bunch of things. He isn't coming in with Saudi money. He doesn't have an open bank account where money goes on trees and whatnot. But you know what I mean. I mean he is a businessman. He does have his limitations. However, the fact that his opening bid blew all of them out of the water, literally blew all of them out of the water. He blew the Saudi media group's bid out of the water with his first bid, his opening offer. That is a statement. For me, this bid is a powerful statement. I don't know enough about his background, his interests, his whatnot, so I'm a little bit reluctant to, openly back this bid until I know more. But financially, it looks sound. Financially, this investor has the money, and he's British. Forget about sanctions. Forget about anything. Unless Priti Patel wants to do what she wants to do and take the passports away from all of us British people who, are not of a certain complexion, then he has the same rights as everybody else. And it's funny how Priti Patel came up with the idea. I don't know. I mean, what she was thinking, but we have a very good bunch of investors. Don't say Saudi or bust, or Saudi or administration, because the Saudi bid is fantastic, but there's others out there, and these are the ones that we know about. And this Centric's bid, we found out about it after the deadline, because it was so big. It was so big that it got leaked. There's other bids out there that are just as private and just as quiet and just as valuable. So don't be hesitant in respect to or don't have a bleak outlook onto the future of Chelsea Football Club. DJ Sav, man, it's taking me 1 hour and 50 minutes to have said hello to him.
This Centric group.
Yeah,
I heard there's 4 other guys with him.
Yeah.
All
3 other
There
guys.
Chelsea.
There is.
Ticket holders.
There is.
With big money.
Nick,
They are potential.
Nick.
Yeah.
Wait your turn, man. Wait your turn. 1 hour and 15 minutes.
never
And I've
comes.
been
That's
waiting.
the problem.
I won't be long.
Sorry?
Nick, don't worry, bro.
Sorry, Nick. What was that?
I was joking. I said my turn never comes, so that's why I come in.
You've already had your turn, man. This DJ hasn't even spoken yet. I haven't even said hello to the man. Go on, DJ. Take it away.
Yeah,
DJ.
listen.
Take it
I
away.
won't keep it for too long. I was actually going to mention the same group that you were just talking about as it goes, Mo. The guy, as I know about these guys, they're like, I think there's 4 of them, isn't there? 4 season ticket holders. I do believe, from what I've read today, I'm not sure their net worth. I do believe is it something like 40 or 60 billion or something.
I actually in my research.
Overseas.
In my research,
billion.
I saw 40 billion.
40 billion. That's what I read.
However, BBC reported 39 billion. So I don't know, because my research, sorry, 29 billion, 29, 11 billion less. Yeah. So I was thinking, I mean, 11 billion is a big figure. I mean, if it was like 1 or 2 billion, it could be lost in the exchange rate or whatnot. But 11 billion is a mad number.
It is, because I understand from what I've read about him. I do believe he's got shares in Amazon. He's got shares in where else has he got things in? I think it's something to do with as it goes. We were just talking about something to do with Saudi Arabia. He's got something in that country, or he's got some stuff in there as well, and somewhere else. So yeah, this guy sounds like a good bet as well. But look, as we've said it all along, for me as a Chelsea fan and season ticket holder, I just want someone who's going to come to the football club.
Wait. I gotta say this.
Yeah,
listen, people. All of you who are season ticket holders, you are now in the same bracket as most of the billionaires on this planet, because every billionaire has a season ticket for Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, so DJ Sav, big up to you, man. Yeah.
I wish I could be amongst that. That'd be brilliant. I'd buy the club myself, mate. No, but listen, I was going to say, So all I want, as I said, I just want someone to literally come in, put a plan down for the football club, take us forward. It's preferably, if it's a Chelsea fan, better. This is one of the reasons why I went with why I was preferring the Saudi media group, for that reason, and I still do, because the guy's put his plans down for the future of what he wants to do. I know Nick Candy's another one, but like I think we said in your streams previously, Mo, I think this guy comes with so much baggage, and every time I keep reading, every time he seems to be getting more and more investors coming in, getting involved. At some point, we're going to get about 5 different people running the football club.
Who? Nick Candy.
Nick. Yeah.
Listen. He might as well ask us to chip in, because I'll chip in. I mean, listen, Suzuki, he's chipping in with his super chats, so he'll chip into Nick Candy. So Suzuki, big up to you. Thank you for your super chats, mate.
No, he is. Big up to Suzuki. Yeah, as I was saying. So yeah, I mean, look, if he can come in and do what he does, I guess I can see why a lot of people from reading on Twitter are all going towards Nick Candy. Some are going towards the Bowleys and obviously the Saudi media group. Now, this new guy that's coming and blown everybody out of the water, it wouldn't surprise me if you see a lot of the Chelsea fans going into that direction. But look, I think we all on here, we've all said it, we all love our club. We're all passionate about our club. And even if these Ricketts guys, I mean, I was just reading, in fact, I sent a DM to you, Mo. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it.
Seen it. That, for me in itself, is saying things are starting to move. I think that's the closest we've come, as it goes, of someone actually coming to the football club to actually meet and talk to Chelsea about this. I mean, so that in itself is telling me, I hope to God these guys are not the ones, because of what we already discussed. And I tell you what, I have done the reading on these guys. I've actually watched the videos on these guys as well, and believe me, it's not nice. But as I said, we've already discussed this. And I know it was 2 years ago, whatever it might be, but I have read that, and yeah, look, for me, I think it could be bad. It'd be a bit bad image for the football club if these guys were to come in. I think we've said it for years. Ken Bates, before Roman took over, tried to clear this stuff of racism out the door long before. But when obviously, because back in the days, you all know, everyone knows here, Chelsea was known as a bad club for the R word back in the days. I remember when I was going in the early 80s and late 80s, my dad first started taking me. I was amongst all that, and I could hear it in the background, and it wasn't nice. All right, so Ken Bates obviously tried to clear it. Roman has come in and done more of an extra job. And for me, if we were to bring someone like these guys in to run the football club, it'll just tarnish our football club forever, I personally think.
Do you remember?
Go on.
Do you remember when Marcus Alonso stopped taking the knee? The backlash that he got from the fans.
I remember.
Okay, so the culture has changed. Chelsea fans, our culture has changed. We don't want anyone to come back and come and take us back to Stone Age, man. We've moved on.
Saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. But what I will say is, Chelsea fans that are saying if the Ricketts guys come in, they're going to run away from the football club. Look, we're real Chelsea fans at the end of the day. As Nick has pointed out, Bobby's pointed out, everyone's pointed out on this panel. Yeah, you don't run away from your football club. You support them to the end, because this is nothing to do with the players, the manager, or whoever comes in. It's the people above who are going to choose these owners to come in. And probably you're going to get a lot of them aimed, or whatever crap's going to come towards the owners, between whoever's in charge of it, Marina, whoever it might be, saying, why have you taken these guys in? I'm hoping they won't be taken in, personally. I don't think they will. And going back to this Todd Bowley group, I mean, look, the guy talks a good talk. I'm not going to say he doesn't deny a good talk. I'm not saying that. What he's saying and what he's done with his businesses and his franchises, great. My only concern, that is good for the short term. The guy comes in, gets the Chelsea fans all on side. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. My concern is the long term. is this guy then going to start taking money out of the football club like we're seeing at Manchester United, like we're seeing at Arsenal, like we to a degree seeing at Liverpool? That is my only concern about the long term. Is this guy going to do that? And that is why I'm not for this guy as much as he's good at what he does. And I've seen that. Yeah, he's done whatever, whatever what I've read about him. He's done well with this franchise. But my concern is that on the long term, is this what he's going to do down the line? And that, but as I said, we don't know. I can't judge the guy. Obviously, if he was to come on board, I obviously can't, I can't not say I don't like the guy. I don't want him to be there. As fans, we're going to have to say brilliant. Hopefully, he comes in and does a good job. But my concern is obviously the long term. And I want to just see us be self-sufficient as we are now. I want us to continue to go to the top as we are doing now. And I want our players to stick around, and and managing everything. So yeah, and fans as well. So look, that's all I've got to say on it, Mo. Hopefully whoever comes in will run the football club well. And I keep saying, I will say it again before I go up, I hope it is the Saudi media group, personally, for me.
Yep. I'm just reading some stuff on Twitter here. Statement of the board and Chelsea FC. Confidentially, I will not comment any further on the discussion. Okay, there's some stuff on Twitter that I'm going through right now. This is a weird one. We're just talking about this. Let me share it with you guys. It says there is growing confidence in the Ricketts family will be shortlisted in the race to buy Chelsea. This isn't confirmed, but there is plenty of positive noise.
Yep. I read that.
There's plenty of positive noise for the Saudis, and every media group writes them off.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look because I'm seeing a few bits and bobs here. There's this one here as well from Nizar Kinsella. Where is it?
Mo, can I just say one thing? Can I just say big up to Gav Hodes in the comments? I know him very well. I used to work with him, in fact. He's in the comment section. Big up to you, Gavin. I know you're in the comment section. You should jump on.
Who?
He's Gav Hodes. He's got some very good insight on Chelsea as well. Yeah, he's got insight on Chelsea as well.
Big up to you, Gav. Big up to you. All right, I'm seeing a comment here from a tweet here from Nizar Kinsella. Nick Candy's Blue Football Consortium has significant backing from South Korea after increasing his bid from $2 billion today. Increasing it from that to what? I don't know. Catalan Kim and CMB Sports Group confirms the new investment comes with a strategic partners for the club. Right. I'm still trying to get my head around that Ricketts tweet. What else we got?
I wouldn't worry too much about that. Being shortlisted is not ownership. It just means that they probably met the bidding cutoff. I think one dark horse that's beginning to emerge from all this is Nick Candy. At first, he was one that people laughed at, but if it's true that he has positive backing from South Korea, I don't know who these people are and what their net worth is, but if they are interested in backing Nick, he could have a say in those that will be shortlisted. I mean, from those.
Yeah. He's picking up momentum. But again, it's the Roman Abramovich factor. Will he or won't he? Will this have an impact in respect to what he had spoken about prior to the invasion of Ukraine?
To be
See,
fair,
the thing is,
I don't. To be honest, I really don't see Roman caring about that. Roman will go for who he will go for based on their merits. I don't think any conversation that if Nick Candy can prove to Roman that he really merits being selected, he'll be selected. I doubt he can, and that's how I think Roman will look at this. I don't
Nick,
really. You see, they've tried to really tarnish this man. All I have ever seen from this man is a man that loves his football club. He's not vindictive. He's not partial. He introduced a lot of things into the club. He introduced a lot of anti-racism, anti-Semitism, support for women, support for gay rights. Roman Abramovich has done a lot. He's employed black people, white people, men, women in key positions at a time when no other Premier League club was doing this. You know, I can't see him as a vindictive individual upon all the things that's been done. I mean, do you know what it means? Think about it, lads. You bought a club up for 150 or 40 million, and it's going to be sold for 3 billion at least. Look at that profit margin, and not one penny is going into his pocket. A club that he nurtured for 20 years. Ah, man, that's painful. That is painful.
Bobby, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Dexter, mate, much appreciated. I think your message has been heard by the fans. If you don't have to keep on sending the money. So thank you for your super chats. Much appreciated. But your message has been received. People in the chat, I have pinned a link for you to click on and to jump on here and give me your thoughts and opinions. Anyone who clicks on that link can jump on, and I will give them a couple of minutes to give me their thoughts and opinions in respect to this topic. All right, you're all welcome to come on and give us your thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear what you have to say about the potential bidders and bids and the future of Chelsea Football Club. The link is pinned in the chat, so go ahead and click on that. If you're new, subscribe. If you want to help me out, do me a favor and let me hit my milestone of 10,000 subscribers. I'm really close, as you can see, really close to hitting that. So if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate your subscription. And if you can like the stream, I would love that. Bobby, I apologize for interrupting you, my man. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, brother.
That's fine. You know, I was just saying, you know, the way I see this is he's hurting. He's going to sell his club, his love, and he will sell it to who he can, for all intents and purposes, believe will be the right person for the club. And this guy is just going to walk away. And that is class. That will preserve his integrity. That will preserve his legacy. There's no point being vindictive at this point. It just makes no sense. And if he does that, trust me, no matter how they try and tarnish his name, that guy's name will be associated with this club forever.
I'll tell you something. I can definitely see something being named after him or put in reference to him. If it's not named after him directly, it'll be to reference him, and it will be done by us, the fans. I mean, if the club doesn't want to do it for political reasons or whatnot, the fans will do it, because what he has done is truly unmatched. What he has done for Chelsea is unmatched, and I can't see anyone even come close to that. So, you know, it's hard shoes to fill. They're very hard shoes to fill. I want to say big up to Andreas in the chat. Andreas, where is he? Here he is. He's replying to DJ. Yes, DJ. There are huge backing from South Korea and the US. Candy is working to get even more partners to listen. Andreas, brother, I know you're not feeling too great, but if you're able to jump on, I would very much appreciate to have you on and to hear your thoughts and opinions and any news that you can give us in respect to this whole thing. It would be brilliant. And I know you're not feeling too great, so if you can't do it, I totally understand. But if you can, the link is there in the pinned comment, and I'd love to have you on to give me your thoughts and opinions. And everybody else in the chat, you're all welcome to do that.
Well, Mike, can I jump in before you get people from the chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I had a few points I still wanted to make, and I shared the same fears as DJ Sav does, because what people might not, remember especially about the Glazers. So a lot of our bidders are venture capitalists, businessmen, and there's a dream story. Glazers are a great story for these people because the Glazers obtained Man United without putting a cent in. They got all loans. In the time they've been at Man United, they've taken $2 billion out, right? and this is like a great story especially for people from America and that view of making money, and that's my biggest fear in the long term. Everyone can say they're going to throw money in, but they're going to do it with getting loans, and tell me how people are going to spend 2-3 billion, another billion on a stadium, and then be able to invest in the team and keep doing that. They're going to hit a point where they're going to accumulate loans, which comes with interest, right? And that's going to come straight from out of the club. That's why I've always leaned to the Saudis, because it's not about making money. It's about just almost like a plaything to show it off, whatever you want to look at it, and they can bypass all this. But other people
declared it's like somebody buying a supercar. They can afford it. It's not
they've done crazier things. And that's how they've shown it, and that's how other Middle Eastern countries have shown the clubs as well. So that's why I back it, because all these other owners, right, have looked at it like that. They want to invest to a certain point, because even the Zars group they've come late and bid the most. They're not come. They even said they didn't come for footballing reasons. They say commercial opportunity. And they want to do what Man City did and have other clubs around the world as well, right? To expand the brand. And they think they can make Chelsea bigger. And everyone said that. But we don't want that. Obviously, we do kind of want that. But we don't want them to reach a point and to start getting back on the investments. Saudi would be, the Saudi group would be as normal. Nick Candy, he's been saying all the great things, but you know what? Nick Candy to me sounds like Rory. He made statements that Lampard got sacked too early, and he wants a fan. I'm not big on the fan on the board.
Nick Candy won't be a good owner. He won't be a good owner. Nick Candy won't be a good owner. The fact that he even said that about Lampard just proves that he's going to put his emotion over logic. Anyone in the right mind that understands Chelsea and understands what Tuchel's done knows that sacking Lampard was the best and the right decision, 100%. So Nick Candy,
you'd say another Ollie.
Ambitious.
Ollie, when people thought Ollie was going to get sacked, he got a new contract because of sentimental reasons, and that would happen at our club too. So I still find it hard. Yeah, I still find it very hard, right? How some of these groups are going to throw 2 to 3 billion at the club, 1 billion stadium, all these promises, and there's no loans and interest and nothing to pay afterwards. It's going to look good at the start. They're going to maybe bring a statement signing, they win the fans over, but in the long term, I got the big fear of it all catching up to us. That's why I want someone with stupid money that's going to do stupid things.
Can I make a point about that, Declared?
Yep.
I agree with you 100%. But we have to remember that these figures that we're talking about, the 3 billion is the purchase fee. The
Well, not
estimated
necessarily, yeah,
1.5
because
billion.
people have done lower than 3 billion.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. It's in and around that. That's
Yeah,
purchase
yeah.
fee.
And
The
it's not the highest
1.5
bidder because
billion,
of how the money turns out. So I guess that's why I think
the,
gave a lot of
the
people opportunity.
1.5 billion is the estimated amount for the redevelopment of the stadium. Now, the redevelopment of the stadium itself is going to lead to an increased revenue of about, what, 17%, if not more, 27%, something like that. Now, anybody coming in to purchase Chelsea, it's not a short term project. It's got to be for the long term. And the long term has to take into some sort of vision of self sustainability with the correct investment into the academy, the correct investment into the stadium. You're nearly there. So, this model, this isn't like Man United that was slightly falling over before uh, uh, the Glazers came in, or any other club in the Premier League. This is a club at the top of its game. So I don't think the concern for somebody coming in and then after a few years raping the club is really as founded. I think they should be equally as motivated to make it a workable business model as they would be to make profit.
I think what I was referring to, Bobby, was more than 2 years. I think what I believe, and it took the Glazers longer than that because what they did was increase the Man United brand, and before they started taking money out, and I can say that what these bidders want to do with Chelsea too, it could be a 5 plus year project, right, of investing money, but there's a time that they're going to cash in, so it might be self-sufficient. It can be self-sufficient, right? We can be self-sufficient now as well. We just chose not to. We chose to spend more because we could. We chose to have a small debt because Roman could put money. Everything was in the mindset of getting the most resources any way possible. That's why Roman took on debt, right? But at the end of the day, even Roman's debt was interest free, and he wiped it at the end. And he bought the club for 150. He put 1.5 in, and now it's going for 3 billion, right? So it wasn't even. It was more investment than a debt.
Yeah, I mean,
The business. Sorry, Bobby. The business model that was introduced by Roman Abramovich was never about it being a business, and that's the difference between Roman Abramovich and the rest. For him, it was a passion, and for him, I think it was quite quick when he figured out that he's actually making a hell of a lot more than he's actually put in. Because of the way the club started to grow, and when I say grow, I mean in its reputation, in its brand. A club that he bought 20 years ago for 140 million. I mean, even with inflation, I don't think it would reach £3 billion. But the fact that it's there, it's this big now. It's down to what he put in. I want to just address a couple of these super chats.
Sorry, Mo, just a quick question for you. I've just got
one second, DJ.
I've got some breaking. Sorry, bro.
I want to address these two
go for it.
super chats, and then I'll let you come in.
Sure.
Firstly, partnerships when it comes to owning clubs are not a good idea. The Glazers got united due to the dispute over the racehorse between previous two largest shareholders. Partnerships can easily fall apart. Yes, we've seen that happen. Disputes between individuals can definitely cause a lot of conflict, and we will find consortiums dissolving, and maybe this could happen to us moving forward. So there's definitely a lot that could go wrong with consortiums. And again, an individual is always going to be better than a consortium. Andrew says, did Nick Candy not mention something about a lifetime loan? Can anyone shed some light on that? Does anybody know anything about a lifetime loan by Nick Candy? I'm not familiar with this. Anybody here know anything about this?
No.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, mate, Andrew. I'll definitely look into it and try to find out what it's about. Boogeyman, I see you. I'll come to you in a second. Let me just get the breaking news from DJ Sav. I'll come to Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Go ahead, DJ.
Sorry, I don't know how true this is, but Pies has just done a message. It's from Nizar Kinsella. Breaking is that Saudi Media Group have not been shortlisted in the list of 3 bidders. The 3 American bidders are expected to be announced before midnight tonight.
3 American bidders, you say?
Yeah, Saudi Media Group have not been shortlisted in the 3 bidders.
No, this is the real account. No, this is the real account. That's not a fake account, like a fake Nizar account.
No, it's not. I just went into Nizar Kinsella.
Hold. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting to check something. Give me 1 quick second. All right. Sure. Okay. Boogeyman, welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
How you doing, my man? You good? Everything good? Everything good?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Listen, we all know what we want the next buyer or the potential buyer to do for our club. I just want to know, do we have any detail of their proposal? I know the bank is studying each proposal at this point, but do we know what exactly they're offering, like the timeline of their objectives and all those things? I just want to know if anyone here, if those proposals have been made public or not.
Yeah, so Todd Bowley came out and said that he's willing to, obviously. I mean, Declared seems to think he's going to be copying Liverpool's model. No, he's just using that as an example of recruiting players. So obviously he's been mentioning that he's not willing, not that he's not willing, but he's not going to be stupid enough to just splash money for the sake of it. He's going to be smart with signings, and I think that's a very good idea. But as I say,
but Chris, what does he know about football, though?
No, but what does he know about football?
What does he know about football?
But that doesn't mean, and as you just said, the 3 American, the Saudi Media Group has apparently not been shortlisted. Let's face facts, mate. He's the best of the options. So, but what does he know about football?
No, sorry, I think that DJ Sam's been.
But he knows about sport.
Hold on, that shortlist news probably isn't real. I was looking at his account. I haven't seen it.
Nizar Kinsella has not tweeted that out yet.
So DJ, where'd you get that from?
He hasn't.
Some guy called himself. He's gone on to pretend to be
Pies. That's what I mean. It's fake.
Yeah.
That's why I put you saw my comments in it in the private chat.
Yeah, Nizar Kinsella has not said that, and to be fair, DJ, as soon as you said 3 Americans have been shortlisted, straight away I knew there was something wrong there. For him to specifically say 3 Americans, it just doesn't ring true to me.
I just felt a bit fake count.
I'm actually waiting for Andreas to jump on. Andreas should be with us momentarily, and hopefully he can give us an insight to what is going on. So, guys, I'm just waiting on Andreas to jump on.
So no news on the proposals, right? Any detail? Nothing was made public so far.
I mentioned Todd Bowley, but as for the Ricketts, I think it's the stadium. They're focusing on the stadium, and the Saudi Media Group. I mean, they've been quite quiet on their proposals, I think. And in terms of that's kind of the ones I know about. I don't know about the others, but Todd Bowley's obviously promising to keep the ambition.
There's still probably more that we haven't even heard about.
Yeah,
that might pop up.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
Boogeyman, how's your trip going, man? How is things going with you?
Pretty slow.
Everyone here is waiting for you to finish your trip and come back, man. What's going on?
I'll be back.
I've been holding the fort.
The issue
is, Chris, with all due respect, you're not as entertaining as Boogeyman. I just gotta say,
really?
Chris, let me talk.
Come on.
I'm still mourning Roman, and the respect I have from that man is just I don't know. I still can't believe what's happening to Chelsea. And at the end of the day, I'm still not over it. So anything I've been saying right now may be just offensive to whatever's happening in Ukraine. So that's why I didn't want to talk too much at this time. But at the end of the day, listen, when I'm little, when I accept what happened, then I will come back to the stream and talk. Yeah, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. It's just too frustrating for me at this time. So that's why I'm trying to be a little slow with my comeback. But when I'm ready, you will see me also.
All right, brilliant. Hopefully, your trip ends well, and hopefully we'll have you back here on our streams as part of the regular panel as soon as you can.
Course.
As soon as you can.
Once blue, always blue, man.
Always blue. Always blue. I'm glad you're coming around to our way of thinking. Hey, Chris, remember just a minute ago?
Yo, but Chris is representing me really good. Chris,
yeah, there you go. No,
much love, man. Much love. Every time I listen to Chris, I feel good about myself. I feel like my legacy will live on.
100%, mate. 100%.
Excellent, Boogeyman. You're keeping it well, Boogeyman. Sorry, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not even in Canada. I'm in Europe, but I just there's a lot of work right now, man. So
big up
just
to
taking
you,
it easy.
Big up to you. Take it easy.
Oh well. Okay, guys. Thanks for having me. I need to bounce.
Cheers.
Out,
Cheers, Boogie. Thank you. Take care, brother. Take care, brother. Listen, people, the link is there for you all to use. I'm not sure why Andreas hasn't jumped on yet.
By the way, Mo, with the super chats, you might as well just put a bid in. All the super chats you're getting, mate. Let's just throw a bid in. See what Wayne are going to say.
What do you mean?
Well, the super chats you're getting, you've got quite a few super chats, so throw in a bid. Let's see what happens. Throw in a bid.
Look, the super chats I've had today come to a grand total of around...
No, but just say you're a season ticket holder. Just say you're a season ticket holder.
It's not even... It won't even buy me a what do you call it? A ticket to a Premier League fixture, man.
Probably wouldn't even buy it.
Yeah, no. Listen. Seriously, I appreciate all the super chats. They mean a lot. It shows that you guys are appreciating the content. So it does help. It does help the channel. But for me, it's not about the super chats. It's not about making money from these streams. For me, it's about the message that we get across to the fans and that we hear from the fans. That is the main thing for me. But like I said, the super chats are always welcome, but it's not why I'm streaming. I have Andreas with us. Finally, I'm gonna change the layout of the screen. I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna say, Andreas, it's good to have you, my man. How are you?
Yeah, hello everybody. Hello Mo.
Hello Andreas.
Big up Andreas.
How are all of
you? How you feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I had COVID and then I had an infection in my throat last week, so I've been just relaxing all last week.
Did you do what I told you to do? Because I told Julius to do it, and Julius did it. I don't know if you did it, about the garlic. I told him to chop up the garlic and eat it. You done that? Did it help?
Yeah. Now I'm much better.
Good. Andreas, brother, as you know, we have been listening and watching and reading and a lot of praying for this thing to work out. So, what is the latest information that you have? What is the position that we are in as far as what you're hearing?
Well, I'm gonna be totally honest here that last week I was not working a lot, so I have to say that I've not been doing a lot of groundwork with what's happening. I was trying to find out if the Saudi media group actually was something that we really could be excited about, and that's actually something that might happen. I tried to find out about that. I talked with some some Saudi Arabian journalists and stuff and try to see if there is any credibility to this. And of course, we know that the bid is coming in, and that's credible. But it's more like if they even believe that there is any chance of them actually be the new owners of Chelsea. We know everything it was going on there with human rights and everything like this. So that was one thing I tried to find out, and then I started to get sick and all this, had fever, so I was not able to go much into it. But I found out that there actually are pretty damn serious about it. Of course, I've been told that Rain Group, they are quite excited about what Saudi Media Group can do for Chelsea in terms of developing the Stamford Bridge. And one quite exciting story I also heard about the bid is that they are not going to go for that model that we have already seen with the Roman Abramovich potentially stadium that's already been leaked. They wanted to build something different, and they asked why they wanted to try to even expand the stadium to 17,000. So they are really have a lot of excitement to it. But of course, there are also a lot of worry about Saudi Media Group, like of course the human rights and everything like this, and also because will the Premier League accept something like this just after Newcastle, and how long will it take for this to be accepted? Because if you look how long it took for for the Premier League to accept Newcastle's new owners, imagine what's going to happen with Chelsea in the meantime because of the sanctions against Chelsea Football Club. Can we survive this? Can the players go safely here and there? And that's what I think are the most concerns about this Saudi Media Group, and also the fear that may in the near future something might happen, like something similar what happened with Roman Abramovich with our new owners. That's why they are now looking more into Boyle. I've seen a lot of reports about the Ricketts and Woodley or whatever his name was, and for me those two guys, they are terrible. They are terrible owners. Like why should we even be looking at these guys? They should be have no right to owning Chelsea Football Club. I from what I have been told is like that Boyle now with his consortium, we know he has assets with him now that's very rich, and that's going to put Chelsea as one of the most richest owners. I think that's something that's of course a lot of things in that group. There are a lot of exciting things with it, of course. It is because they also want to redevelop Stamford Bridge. Uh, Even I've been told that they are going to focus on extending the contract of Rudiger and other players, and they want to invest in the first team. So that's going to be something really excited for me. But my concerns are that, for example, look at Goldstein. He's a Tottenham fan. He is one of these three guys that's going to be the main leaders of this club. I mean, and for me, the last one that's also really exciting is about Nick Candy. And for me, I've seen a lot of people doubting Nick Candy because it feels like this is too good. But will we rather have a Chelsea fan, a big proper Chelsea fan like Nick Candy owning our club, or are we really going to give the hands to Goldstein? Is a Spurs fan. Is that really better than Nick Candy that now has got huge assets? I mean, it's not only the South Koreans, and I believe there's not one group that can gain in that consortium 800 billion. It's another group in that as well that can gain around 300 billion, and then you have the US people that's going to give money into that consortium as well. And he is trying to find partners in Africa. He's trying to find more partners in Europe. Nick Candy is working to get even more. So there are a lot of funds and in investment there. And for sure, what I know about Nick Candy is that his priority is, of course, also to get the key players staying at Chelsea and also redeveloping Stamford Bridge at any possibility. And he's going to take that new step because he knows how important that is to have uh, a stadium that holds more than what we have at the moment for the future of the club. So for me, it's about probably those three uh, consortiums or the groups that I think are like the three most exciting ones.
What about Centric, Andreas? I didn't hear you mentioning them.
Yeah, I've seen them as well. I didn't mention them simply for the fact that I have not really been working a lot of the group. I've seen some reports from Matlo or Nisar about it. I've not really gone truly in it and see it's about, but of course there has been some promising reports about that as well. For me, I think probably at the moment as it stands, Boyle, Nikandi, and the South Koreans are more likely options than that group. Uh, I think they have a lot more that they can guarantee for the club as of now than that group in particular.
Andreas, in respect to the bids that haven't been talked about, because we know there's like 30 bids that have been put in place. The bids that we have been hearing about, they're like 5 or 6 max. So there's got to be a whole bunch that are private and that are sealed and that are not being discussed. Do you think that we could potentially see something come out from those bids? And when do you think it will be realistic to anticipate the shortlist to be made public to us?
Well, I obviously think that there are especially a lot of other interested consortiums or uh, owners from the US that's not been mentioned yet. I know there are probably one group here and there. I don't have any quite good information about if any of those are any like that has a chance of doing have any potential to actually buying Chelsea Football Club. I think that the three shortlists are coming to come very soon. Chelsea have already this idea in their head that they want to uh, do this quickly. They want now to find the owner quickly. I think maybe even tomorrow we might already see the tree. I think, or the day after. I think there's coming very quickly, and then also after we know those three names, I think we're going to see a couple more days or. There's going to be very quickly, and then we're going to actually find out who's going uh, to buy Chelsea Football Club, to get Chelsea Football Club, because that's something every partner is now working to do. Even Roman Abramovich, he wants now to get this deal done because he cares about the club. He has accepted everything. Everyone in Chelsea wants now to find uh, the new owner, the government. Everyone is trying to figure this out. So I think it's going to happen very soon.
All right, I'm going to let the guys in the panel address any questions or concerns they may have to Andreas. So,
Mo, I just want to say that
yep.
that I don't have a lot of information about this because I've not been working a lot. So I'm just talking through something I've been told and my thoughts,
Sure.
basically, because
We understand.
I've
Yeah.
literally not had time to work a lot on this.
And we understand that. We appreciate you coming. I mean, we all know, the health condition you were in, and we're happy and we're glad to see you back on your feet. And it's hard to follow the story for everyone, especially if you've just come back and just recovered from COVID. So thank you for making time for us, Andreas. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Cheers.
Good to be back.
Can I just ask one
I had a
question,
question.
Andreas?
Okay.
Oh, okay. My question, Jace, I don't know if Declared is going to ask the same one. Andreas, you were saying earlier on just about Nick Candy possibly being a good owner, obviously, if he was to come to us. I have read recently in days that he said that Frank Lampard's sacking was bad. What's his thoughts on Thomas Tuchel? Because I know he said he wants to get players signed up and everything. Is the plan to still continue to keep Thomas Tuchel, though, because of what his comments were about Lampard recently?
Yeah, absolutely. His plans is to keep Thomas Tuchel. He thinks, of course, Thomas Tuchel has done a brilliant job. I don't think Nick Candy tried to point out that he's like what he was trying to do was to say that Lampard should still be here. Or I think the point he's trying to make out is that he's not going to be that owner that's going to sack the manager straight away. I think he's trying to make that point that he's going to let managers have more time. I think he's not going to be as ruthless as Roman. I think he's going to be, for example, now if Thomas Tuchel will go in a bad patch, for example, imagine next year, and if we don't do as well in the league, we might digress a bit, go third or fourth in league. Still, we don't compete for a league title. He's not going to be that guy that's just going to sack Thomas Tuchel straight away. He's going to give Thomas Tuchel trust. He's going to give him time. I think this is a bit more what he's trying to mean. I don't think he's particularly meaning like, wow, we should have had Lampard now. We want him back. I don't think that's the point he's trying to making with those statements. He's just like trying to say that, yeah, we are going to give trainers more, managers more time now. We are going to, if everyone can see how good Thomas Tuchel is, we are going to like to give him more time. That's my opinion on it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Andrews, I want to pull back on what when you said when you compared the Saudi bids with Newcastle and how it could be problematic. But I always felt that was a little bit of a different case. Wasn't it because the biggest delay that caused for Newcastle, being sport, because Saudis and Qatar was at heads with each other at the time, and they was streaming being sport for free in the country, and it was a piracy issue. Yeah.
Yes, I understand that, but I think more the issue about getting Saudi Arabia in, you can already see it from the media. You can already see rival fans, people from government already trying to say that if Chelsea are going to get Saudi Arabian owners, it's not going to be okay. You know, there are always going to be salty people against Chelsea. They're going to do everything they can to try to stop Chelsea's success. Even you can see that from one of the guys in the government. I don't remember his name, but one from the UK government. He was pushing from Roman Abramovich to be sanctioned before he was able to sell it. What's the name of that guy? He was pushing for
PM. Yes,
Steiner.
Brank. Was it Brank?
Yeah, Brank. Labour leader.
And he is an
he was pushing it.
And I don't think they can be. I think there are some bias in this as well, with things like this. So I think, of course, there are two different things. The Saudi Arabian of the Saudi media group compared to Newcastle owners is two different things, because this is not linked to the Saudi Arabia government or anything like this. It's totally different, of course, but I just feel that a lot of politics are still involved. They are going to try to find something to cry about, and that's the feeling coming from Chelsea, that there might be some issues that they can't figure out now, that they don't know about now, but that's maybe going to emerge if they are going to really go into deep into what do you call it, the way to the process for the Saudi Arabian consortium to take over Chelsea. If that makes any sense at all.
Wouldn't that have a domino effect with Newcastle? Just proving that, what, 6 months ago?
Something. Yeah. Go on. Yeah, I just want to say, with this Saudi Arabians, this Saudi Arabia group, Andreas, because they're from, the Arabs, the Arab world, can Chelsea afford to take, so much time to have them checked out? The Premiership want to, check them out and all that. So, but we don't have time. We don't have the time like Newcastle
one of the concerns, right? Because we don't have the time. That's why the Boilies of this world, even the other groups, they have a lot better chance. Because in an ideal world, if there's no politics involved, why should Chelsea not choose the best possible way for the club? Because that's a fact. That's the Saudi media group.
But if this government wanted to, they could reduce the time if they want in the Premiership. But they all, like you said, they're all against us, so that won't happen. They want us.
Yeah, you can see how fast they were to sanction Chelsea, and when an Arsenal fan, the UK government, when you actually search about that guy that was pushing Boris Johnson to sanction Roman Abramovich, that guy that was posting everything, he's talking about things he does not even know about. Many of these people that's talking about Roman Abramovich, I mean, they are talking about things, but they don't explain it properly. They're just saying that there was a connection between Putin and Roman Abramovich. They have to have more background than this. It's
a hate they have on us. These politicians, and the hate the media has on us, the hate the rivals have. It's so much that they do what they want in the end. And then, it's a shame because we want the Saudi group to come through, but it ain't going to happen. Doesn't look like.
No, I wouldn't write it totally off, but I just can't see it happening. It's just too good to
it's
happen.
The time is a problem. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I hope you get better anyway. I know
Thanks.
Listen, before I let Andreas go and give him his last remarks, we've had nearly 200 plus people, 210, 215 people on the stream from the beginning, and we haven't even hit 150 likes. So I'm disappointed, guys. I mean, we do our best to provide you with information. I've brought Andreas, out of his bed. The man is recovering from COVID, and he's here giving you his insight. Do us that favor of just hitting that like button and smashing that subscription button. Really appreciate it. Andreas, brother, thank you for coming on. Always good to have you on. Before I let you go, who do you think? I mean, I know this is like this is an opinion, so it might happen, it might not happen. But who do you think is the most likely from the bidders that we know of to win the bid for Chelsea Football Club? If you were a betting man, I'd say, who would you think?
My feeling is Wiss, Boyle, Goldstein. But I do hope we get Nick Candy and the South Korean instead.
Anyone except Goldstein. We don't need a Tottenham fan, please.
Apparently, the other people in the consortium are saying that Goldstein saw the light and that he knows that Chelsea are the club and everything like this. They're trying everything they can to use the PR the best they can.
All
right. Well, thank you for giving us that.
Last question, Mo. Let me ask you one question. I just remembered. Andreas.
Yeah.
I was going to say, God, it's gone out of my mind. Your wife.
All right. Since the question has gone out of your mind, then we'll move on. No, I'm joking. Nick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll give you. I'll give you 15 minutes to think it, to remember it.
Well, I had it
We'll
now.
wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
I was gonna. Now I got it. I remembered. Yeah, don't you think there's a chance that there's someone out there? Well, no, none of us or no media or no one knows about. Like when Roman came in, out of the blue and saved this club. Could there be another person like that?
Of course, we never know, but at this stage, I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my feeling. At this point we are in now, if we had
It's hard.
like some people we didn't hear about in the start, like in the very, very start, I think then we could talk about potential being another owner here or there. But now I think there's not going to be like someone that's have a proper chance to buy the club. Not from what I'm hearing, because
to come out from the skies and save us.
Well, didn't that Centric group just come out like yesterday? I mean, it feels like a new bidder every day. It's coming out.
It was reported on.
But still, the leading people are still the Boyley, the Wiss, and then maybe the Ricketts, and then Woodley or what his name is, and then Nick Candy. So,
but they're the only people putting the biggest
that
PR.
we have heard about for quite a long time now. That's in that top 3 mix, top 3, top 4 mix. Saudi media are around there as well. So we have not heard about. I just don't think it's going to be someone like that, but. I can't say anything for sure. It's just proper guessing here.
Speculation and assumptions. Yeah,
it's all speculation at the moment. We're just hoping.
Yeah, the shortlist when it comes out, that's when we get an idea, a proper idea, because there could be a surprise name on that shortlist.
Yeah,
but if there isn't,
we're hoping
then
for. We're hoping for Roman number 2.
I'm telling you now, when that shortlist comes out, it's going to be. I think our fans are going to be so at heads or pushing for their team. It is going to explode. It's going to be crazy.
It will be
arguments.
Be a war, be clear.
Yeah.
Just imagine if the Ricketts are on that list. I mean, I saw James Robinson tweeting about them being potentially on that list. I mean, Jesus Christ.
God, that would be the worst.
These guys are Glazers 2.0, like serious Glazers 2.0.
If they're on that list, it goes to show that the process has other influences, not just Chelsea's. That's how.
Yeah.
Probably more
It has to show that the UK government as well has had a lot to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. If the bigger the influence of the UK government, the less comfortable I am with this transaction. I mean, I don't mind them having regulations and guidelines and all these hoops that we have to jump through. I don't mind them putting that in place, but when it comes to the decision making, I don't want it to be anywhere near the British government in regards to who can buy it. I want it to be Chelsea-based, Roman Abramovich-based, because he's handing over his club, the club that he owns. He's handing it over to this person. So I think the least we can do is allow him to pick the person who is going to buy it from him. I mean, that's the least we can do. Andreas, my brother, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you back on. I hope we'll get you on in the summer for the transfer window, and hopefully we'll have an owner that is going to spend some money, so we can have a good stream on that night.
Sure, mate. Big
Take
up
care,
everyone
brother.
here.
Big up to you. Hope you
Big
feel
up,
better,
Andreas.
mate. Take care.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Have a good night, Andreas. Good night. Good night, my brother. Good night.
Good night.
Take
Good
care.
night.
All right, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Did we get 150? Oh, we got 160. Lads, look, we've got about 20 minutes, I say, on the stream. Can we push to 200 likes? Can you guys do it for me? 200 likes. Did we earn it? Did we deserve it? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Did we deserve 200 likes? You decide. If you think we deserve it, hit that like button. All right, I'm gonna give everyone a couple of minutes to give me the final statements. We've lost Bobby. Where did Bobby go? I didn't realize we lost him. I want to hear your final statements, and I'm going to start with Nick. Nick, you've heard a lot. You've read a lot. You've seen a lot.
Oh God, yes.
What's your final remarks on this? I mean, next time we're talking, we might even know who the shortlist is. So, what's your final remarks? Yeah.
Final remarks is like I've been saying, all the time. You must have got fed up me saying it. Is I'm just praying whoever comes in just carries on Roman's great work and helps the academy, helps the ladies team, carries on everything as it is because we have a great setup. I don't want any big changes. And most of all important is to give Tuchel 10-year contract at least. And Rudiger, make sure we keep Rudiger as well. I don't care about Christian, so he can go if he wants. If he wants to go, let him go. But Rudiger is a very special player. I like to see him sign. And we will sign if he gets that contract right. He loves Chelsea, like we all do. I can see in his face, all the time he plays. And I'm just hoping for the round. I don't want that Tottenham fan. None of us really want him. I would be surprised if anyone wants him. But, if he does come in, it's going to be a war at Chelsea. We're going to be shouting mad about it.
Nick, you're always extreme, man. You're always, war, protesting, picket line.
I was born blue, Mo. I've been going to Chelsea since I was 10 years old. And I don't want to see that sacred ground. I've been through worse than this. Well, this is the worst right now, but we had similar things coming along the way. We thought we were going out of extinction at one time, but Ken Bates coming and saved us. Then Roman saved us. It goes on and on. Let's, I have all faith in Chelsea Football Club to, go on and win and eventually win that Premiership again. That's when we will shut up everyone, the government, the rivals, and everyone.
All right, fantastic, Nick. Thank you for your time. Pleasure having you on, and I'm pleased that your mic discipline was spot on today. Apart from a couple of occasions, you were spot
on. Yeah. I'm trying. It's only I'm working. I'm talking from my phone. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, no. Big up. Thank you, Nick.
Good. It's good. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's getting better. No, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Easy,
Take care, Nick. I'll see you at the next one. I'll see you in the next stream. Take care, brother. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right. Let me go to Declared. Declared, give me your closing remarks.
Closing remarks. I guess everyone can hang in there, yeah? Everyone can be like me with fear. I mean, my closing remarks resonates with what Nick just said. I actually just want everything stays the same. But I also want every fan to look into the owners. Don't be so gullible and just hear some pretty things and be warm to that guy. I actually do want to advocate fans to raise their voice, because I actually think maybe the process has the fans' views, taken into account. I think everything that's being said, and that's why I believe even what's being said about the Ricketts could have an influence on whether they're picked or not. If all the fan base thinks they're racist and they can't turn from that view, I think they can go against them. And this should be looked into. Everyone that comes on that shortlist should be looked into and asked a lot of questions, and maybe And maybe like as the whole race ramps up, more and more of these owners are going to make promises, and maybe we can hold them more and more account to what they say. So I think we can do something. I think the fans' voices are actually being considered in the process. So I urge everyone to look into every owner of Finecombe, as I think was being referred before, and really point out and really put some of these people under pressure. And the more pressure they're under, the more they're going to promise, and the more we can hold them to account. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
I'll end with that one.
Spot on. Declared, it's always good to have you on my streams. So I know it's not always convenient with the time difference, but it's good having you on today, mate. And I hope to see you in the future streams as well, brother.
It's good to be on. Thanks again.
Take care, brother.
Take care.
Take care. See you later. Cheers, Declared. See you later, brother. Thank you. Bye. All right, let's go to from down under. We go to Scotland. Or the Scottish representative in London. Let's go to Chris. Chris, let me get your final thoughts, mate.
Well, first of all, I forgot to say at the start, it's a pleasure to be back on the Blue Lounge, the best Chelsea fan channel on YouTube. I've been slacking the last couple of streams by not saying it, and I can't forget not to say it, so I'll say it now.
Appreciate it.
My thoughts on it. Look, the sooner the better we know, because I'm sick and tired of the speculation. I just want to know who's the final three. Let us know. Is it the Saudis? Is it not the Saudis? Is it the Todd Bowley? Is it not Todd? I want to know. I just want to know who it is, and the sooner the better, really. And yeah, just ambition. That's what I want. The next person to come in, I want ambition. With the Saudis, I know we'll get ambition because, as you can tell, by the Saudi media group, they're very ambitious. Look at the stadium. Look at that stadium we put on Twitter. Wow, amazing. But yeah, I've heard a lot of. That's what I also want to say is do your research on the owners like Todd Bowley. I didn't know anything about him. I spoke to Americans last night, and they said he's passionate and he's ambitious. So we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, overall, mate, I just want to keep it short and sweet. Don't let, if the Ricketts come in, don't let the racism blind you and run you away from the club, because just don't do that. Just don't run away from the club. Support the club and love the club, and that's the way it is. But I hope it's the Saudis, but if it's not, I want to know who. Stop keeping us in the dark. We want to know. But yeah, Mo, DJ Mo, the chat, everybody, big up everybody. It was a pleasure to be back on.
Big up to you, man.
Up the chills.
Cheers, Chris. Up the chills, brother. Thank you very much for coming on. We'll see you in the next stream. Take care, brother.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Cheers, Chris. Take care. DJ Sav, I seem to always leave you to the end for some reason. I swear I don't do it deliberately. I'm like, who comes to mind? Dum, and then DJ Sav is left to the end. So it just happens.
Hey, listen,
DJ,
I don't mind. I don't mind being the last person, seriously, because it's always good to have the last word in.
DJ, maybe the fact that you were the first person ever to jump on my streams.
Yeah.
Ever, like literally the first ever person to jump on a stream with me was you.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why subconsciously I got to sign out my streams with you. So I don't know, maybe it's subconscious. 100%.
Now listen, bro, it's been a pleasure being on your show as it always is, and I love being on the Blue Lounge. Meeting and talking to all the people that I've met on here. All talk Chelsea, our number one passion. Look, for me, as Chris and everyone's alluded to, I just want to know who's going to come in. Take us to where we are already, take us even higher if possible. Someone who's going to, look after, like the Saudi guy said he's going to do for us. He's a fan. He's going to come in. He's going to do the stadium. He's going to obviously sort out really good and Aspie's contracts. He's also going to, look after, plow more money into the youth academy, the ladies team. This is one of the reasons why I go more for the Saudis than anybody else. And, and it's not about the money. It's not about that at all, because the guy's a fan. And that's the reason why I want him to come. Obviously, Nick Candy's been mentioned as well, another guy who's a Chelsea fan. And I think they're the kind of people you trust to run your football club. I mean, anybody else coming in, as I said, will just use this as a cash cow. And that's where my concern is about American owners coming in. No disrespect, I'm not using it as anything political. I've just seen what's going on at Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United to get the answer on that. So for me, it has to be someone like that. And I do believe we will get the right owner. I think all the Chelsea fans will be happy about that when it does happen. We just want to see our club being where it should. Back to business, as they say. Back to business, selling our tickets, opening up the gates again to all the fans. This is all we want. As a season ticket holder myself, I want to be in there supporting every fan that comes in there, whether they're a Chelsea fan or not a Chelsea fan. It's just be great to be amongst it all again. And that's all I want to see from my club do. We're so passionate about our club that we love so much. And we just want to see more and more, good things happen with their football club. So may it long continue and the owners come in when they do. And we push on from there, bro. And as always, as I said, great being on your show. I obviously look forward to your next stream. Everyone in the comments section, Gavin, my mate Gav, who's come on there, big up to you, your family as well, and everyone in the comments. Big up to you, every single one of you. And I'll catch up with you guys very soon.
I'd love for Gav to jump on the next one. So the next stream, Gav,
I'm gonna try and talk to him to come on. He's in.
Yeah, jump
Chelsea.
on, mate.
Bro, trust me. His insight on Chelsea is almost just as good as mine. The guy's history on Chelsea, everything. He's very good. He also
love to have him on.
I'll get him. I'll try and ask him to jump on next time. I know he's in the comments. I've seen him a few times now, but I will try and see him come on.
Sounds good. Sounds good. DJ, thank you very much for your kind words, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, brother. Have a good night. Cheers, DJ. Take care, brother. Take care. Have a good night. Oh boy, what a stream! What a stream! Nearly 2.5 hours. Look, people, it's been an exciting day. It's been a very interesting day. A lot has been revealed. A lot has been revealed, but at the same time, nothing has been revealed. Do you understand? So we've had a lot of news come out, but really, have we learned anything new? No, not really. And I think it's all about building the tension, building the excitement, building the hype. And I think tomorrow we will get something tangible. I'm pretty sure tomorrow we will get something tangible. And the what's the word here? The indicators, the signals to the future of Chelsea Football Club will become clearer in the next 24 to 48 hours. The next owner will be clearer. As we all know, 2, maybe 3 shortlist, and we'll move on from that. And again, I think you've seen what we've said. You've heard what we've said. No one is perfect. No bidder, no consortium is perfect. And they all have pros and cons. Let's just hope that whoever does buy Chelsea Football Club is able to utilize their pros, and their cons don't be a hurdle for us. Let's just hope that the investment comes in, the mission statement that they're all giving us is implemented, and we can continue moving forward as Chelsea Football Club. Let's just be positive. Look, our players, they have been a clear indicator of the positivity that we, the fans, need to replicate throughout this period of uncertainty. They have won every single game. They did not let it affect them. They did not let it impact them. Let's learn from the players, and let's replicate their positivity and their attitude here as we support them. That's all I've got to say for now. We will have a stream for you as soon as something major is revealed. Me and my team will continue to follow the news and continue keeping you posted. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's at the Blue Lounge, and on Instagram at the Blue Lounge. So it's mkasim at the Blue Lounge on Instagram and on Twitter. Go check it out, give me a follow, and I will catch up with you guys in my next upload. I'm going to give you the Arabic soundtrack to exit the stream. Saudi Media Group. Let's see. Take care, lads. Peace.